There are things on your website that are making it look dated and are sabotaging your conversions and your SEO. Hey everyone, I'm Kelly Sparks, and today I'm going to share 9 things that you should remove from your website immediately to get your visitor to stick around for longer and improve your conversions. The first thing to remove is any sliders you have on your website. Now, sliders were really trendy a few years back, but now they instantly make your page look dated and they make your visitor have to make a decision really quickly. So you've got all this stuff flying at them, all this information, and they have to choose what they want to do there. Whereas if you choose for them, so think about what is your most important thing on your website and put a large image with some text over and a button to that instead of the slider, that is going to be far more effective at converting your visitor into a client. Another reason to get rid of sliders is that they are generally quite large images, full width images, and so are quite big and take time to load on your website. So that can slow down your site, which is bad for your visitor's experience and also for SEO. Number 2, remove any clutter from your website. A cluttered website screams, I'm outdated, and it does confuse your user. Take a look at everything you've got on there. Have you got multiple images that say the same thing? Could you just replace all of those with one, for example? And what about your text? Are you saying the same thing multiple times? Is there too many words in there? Is your text bloated? Could you get across the same message in a shorter paragraph with fewer words? I use a great writing tool called Grammarly for this, which is a total lifesaver, and it's improved my writing no end. Fewer, more powerful words will make a massive difference to your website. Number 3, remove submenus from your navigation. Unless you are a massive resource like a university, or you've got tons of products that you need to have all different categories to make it easier for users to navigate your website, you probably don't need sub-navigation or a drop-down list. So the times when I see this a lot is like for services, for example. So someone might only have 4 things in their menu, they've got loads of space there, but they still put services as a top level, and you have to click on it to see what the services actually are. So that means that your user has to have 2 clicks to find what they're looking for. So say, for example, you're a florist and you do wedding flowers and you've got services, and then you drop down that and it says wedding flowers and events. You've just got those 2 things in there. They've had to click twice to get to the wedding flowers page or the events page. Whereas if they were just items in the menu, then that would be much easier for your user. Also, make sure any links that are in your website are clear and straightforward and easy to understand. So choose common names like about and contact where possible. Number 4, remove any unoptimized images. Large images are going to take a long time to load and will really slow down your website and affect SEO. But also images that are too small or resized incorrectly are going to look blurred and make your website look dated, and so are equally going to affect your website. So you really should resize each image to fit the container that it's in on the website. If your container is 200 pixels by 200 pixels, you don't need a massive 3000 wide pixel image to go in there. It needs to be resized to 200 pixels by 200 pixels. You can also use a plugin to help with your image optimization, but I have a whole video on image optimization. So if you feel that this is something that your website is suffering from, or you're not clear on what I mean by that, then please go and check that one out after you've watched this. Number 5, remove text from images. I see a lot of websites where images have been saved with text over them. So for example, someone's created an image from a template in Canva, and then they're uploading that to their website, say a quote, for example. But the issue with that is that, 1, a screen reader can't read it because the text is inside the image. Also, a search engine can't read it. So if you have like a really important quote from you in there, or you're using it for your titles, say, if you didn't know how to put the font that you want onto your website, so you just think, actually, I'll just create it in Canva and I'll upload that as a title. That is not good because no one can read that unless you can physically see the page. The other issue is responsive design. So if you've uploaded an image with text over it, then that means that once your screen is resized, so say for example it's resized onto a tiny mobile, people might not be able to read that text anymore, or even worse, it's sort of shoved off to the left hand side and not visible at all, and your user's left thinking, what is going on here? Why is there just like a random half image here? So don't do that, please. If you're struggling, then you can use a page builder like Elementor, which makes that super easy. But what you want is you want your image as a background and you want the text overlaid onto it. Number 6, remove your social icons from your header. So this could be quite controversial. I know a lot of people have their social icons in your header, but it's really quite hard to get people to your website. So the last thing you want to do when you finally got them there is send them back down a social media rabbit hole. So I'm not saying there isn't a place for social media icons on your website, but that should be in your footer. That's where I like to put them. So it's on every page, but they've got to the bottom of the page and now they've got to make a decision. And if they want to go and follow you on social media, then that's better than nothing. But having them right at the top means that you might lose your visitor before you've even got them to look around. Keeping people on your website for longer is great, obviously, because then they're going to learn more about you. But it's also great for SEO because the longer they stay on there, the lower this thing called bounce rate is. And search engines love a low bounce rate. So you want to keep your visitor as long as possible. Number 7, remove dates from your blog posts. On the majority of websites, the date of the blog post is irrelevant. For example, I'm going to turn this video into a post on my website, but it doesn't matter that I created it today or if I did it last year. That information is evergreen and it's still relevant a year from now. And if something changes, then I might edit it and I might edit my video, but it's still the same blog post. So it doesn't really matter what date it is. If I had a date on there and people came and say, for example, I had some time off and the people came and like, oh, she hasn't created a blog post for a year, that makes your blog feel outdated, even if the data in the blog post is very relevant. So I think just remove the dates and then it avoids confusion and it avoids people thinking, I'm going to go off and find a newer blog post to read on this subject. Number 8, remove your email address. So if a visitor clicks on your email address and it's a mail to link, it can potentially lead to big issues. For example, it might open in the wrong email program and confuse them, or even worse still, they go ahead and send you a message, but it might not get sent because that email program is not connected or set up. Another issue with having your email address on your website is that bots can scrape it. So that's going to lead to you getting lots of spam. And also, for example, on a WordPress website, if your username is your actual email address, the same email address you've got on your website, then you're giving a hacker half of your username and password combination. So that's not a good idea either. So instead of using an email address, you need to use a contact form, which is going to look much more professional. And it enables your visitor to get in touch without leaving your website and the possibility of being distracted by their inbox. So this leads me to my final one. Number 9, keep your contact forms very simple. Only ask for vital information. For example, a visitor may be really uncomfortable giving you their home address if they only want to ask you about one of your products, and asking them for it may stop them from filling in the form altogether. You only need a few simple fields like name, email and message, and a nice button that entices people to fill in the form and click send. If you do need more than that for your business purposes, then just make sure the first contact doesn't have to be all that. So for example, if you need someone to fill in a medical questionnaire, don't get them to do that the first time they're getting in touch. Do that after they've filled in the form and they've agreed to sign up. Then send them the long-winded forms that they have to fill in for legal reasons. And that's it. If you loved this video, then please like it and share it with all of your friends because I really, really appreciate all of your support. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.